Alright guys, well it's 2024, so apparently the biggest issue we have to tackle in the video games industry is tackling the male gaze. And we talked about this in the last video, this article from Inverse talking about Stellar Blade and the male gaze, and what is attractive and why is it attractive. And basically this article sucks. I mean, you can go back and watch the last video. But this has kind of been a big topic, a lot of topic in the video game industry, talking about Star Wars, the character in the new Outlaws game where she just looks like a man. The slideshows we've seen of every female video game character who has just been completely just destroyed and bastardized from the way the actress does the voice or the acting motion capture for the video game. The way that they normally look has just been distorted and twisted to make them as unattractive and unappealing as possible. So this has been an issue for a long time now, and now we're seeing it in Pokemon Go of all places. And Pokemon Go, I'm going to say straight up, is not a game that I have ever played. I'm not a mobile gamer. I do not like mobile games. I've played, let's see, the last mobile game that I actually regularly played was Angry Birds on, God, I can't remember how long ago that was. My wife was in the hospital giving birth to our first son, so that was 11 years ago. So I am not a mobile gamer, okay? That being said, I despise what they're doing with male and female characters in video games, and the way that they are completely making female characters less feminine, trying to make them more androgynous, and we're seeing this a lot now, even with Pokemon Go of all places. So this article we have here from Fandom Pulse talks about the update has caused backlash against Niantic, the developers for Pokemon Go, as players are upset by loss of choice for sake of hollow DEI inclusivity, and this is very true. A lot of this DEI stuff we're seeing, you know, on paper, it could sound idealistic, but it's really hollow. It's really shallow. There's not a whole lot of actual legitimate care being put into it. It is just these people virtue signaling or grifting to try to make money, finding problems that don't even exist in the first place, and creating a problem for them to fix. They often say that you can't, if you cure cancer, then there's no money in the cure. You know, if the cancer goes away, what are you going to do? And I'm not saying, don't try to like conspiracy theory me on this one, okay? I'm not saying cancer 100% is manufactured to not be fixed. I'm just using that as an example. If you fix the problem, you're never going to be able to sell the solution. So we'll go through some of these slideshows, and it is really interesting because a lot of what you see coming out of Niantic is caused by the involvement of these DEI consultant firms, but not just them. Niantic seems to be like filled with all of this DEI agenda themselves. So this was the tweet. Pokemon Go, this was yesterday, I do believe, tweeted out, "Trainers, your avatar can now look even more like you. We're excited to announce that the new avatar customization options are now live in Pokemon Go." And they got completely destroyed. You can see right now 2,000 more responses than likes on this tweet. And of course, I point out here, I'm like, hey, Pokemon, why do you hate women? And a lot of people have said, okay, what was the point of the changing of the anatomy? What was this supposed to accomplish? Why would you intentionally make females look less feminine? And you can see that Grums has documented here a lot of what's going on behind the scenes with this GamerX company. And we've talked about GamerX before. GamerX is a consulting company whose mission statement is literally to advance diversity, equity, visibility, and inclusion. This visibility thing here is, I think, a key component of what we are looking at. And of course, they offer workshops and whatnot. And of course, one of their clients here is Dead by Daylight, which is a super woke game, full of the LGBTQ agenda ideology crap crammed in there. And a lot of the audience for that game happens to be of that certain proclivity, we'll say. And so, of course, he goes, okay, it turns out the makers of Pokemon Go consulted with a Sweet Baby Inc. style consultancy firm, GamerX. Did this lead to the changes? Of course it did. 1,000%. But I'm not even going to put it entirely on GamerX. I feel like part of this is on Niantic, and you'll see why in a few minutes. He goes, the Pokemon Go app removed gender from all Pokemon Go players yesterday in a sweeping change that left fans at Pokemon Go HubNet furious. And Pokemon Go HubNet is just an independent account that covers all the Pokemon Go stuff. They don't get political, and even they were questioning this decision, saying, what are we doing? You know, adding more customizations is fine, but this is terrible and nobody likes this. So gender is gone, replaced by a hodgepodge of androgynous options. Nothing can be too feminine or too male. Facial hair options are gone. Male faces had softened features. Female faces had masculine jaws. And this isn't just us saying this, guys. This is legitimate. Like, these faces, again, removing the ability to pick male or female, just giving you, like, Androgynous body option 1, androgynous body option 2. Well, this one looks slightly more masculine. I might pick this one. It's insane. And you can see people like Kirsch Verstahlen on Twitter saying, opening Pokemon Go today and really disappointed that I've been turned into a gender blob. Who does this appeal to? I look more feminine in a bulky winter coat pre-update even. I don't want to play as an ugly man wearing women's clothing. Change this back, dude. And it's true. I mean, this was the before and this is the after here. And it's like night and day. Even though the outfits are very different, she looks more feminine here with less showing than she does in this one here. And then, of course, Neon over at Clownfish TV pointed out, there's a very easy solution for handling gender in video games. Make male, female, and custom. And then with the custom one, you just allow you to mix and match body types, clothes, voices, etc. and assign pronouns only if you want them. That took me all of 30 seconds. You're welcome. And this is 100% correct. Personally, I wouldn't even bother with the whole allowing them to use pronouns thing. But again, I'm way more on the other side of this. I know Neon's trying to be much more civil, and I can respect that. So yeah, you could totally follow this pattern, and you wouldn't have a single problem. But then we're seeing crap like this, where apparently, due to the new body types and clothing options, you can show off your private areas with the new update. Hypnotic here says, yeah, now you can see those balls in HD. And yeah, you can see this person has this weird bonus hole area where their legs meet that looks like that's where their genitals would be. Very disturbing. And of course, this game's even getting roasted now in Japan by Japanese-speaking people. This one here saying, wow, looks strong, talking about this very thick, slightly androgynous person. This one here says it looks like you can have a Pokemon battle without Pokemon. This one here is like pro wrestling mon, LOL. And Savvy Artist, Madam Savvy on Twitter, pointed out again a very, very valid point, and something that I already said, but she really drives it home. The people who offer consulting for inclusivity have to find problems that don't exist so they have a job because they're incapable of doing anything else and contributing in a meaningful way or creating their own content. Even when they're hired to do that job, they can't even do it right. They butcher language, get flags wrong. All the females are in exactly the same, except when you tell, etc. When you can tell a consulting firm touches something, that means you did it poorly. 100%. She says what Niantic did is absolutely prime for an example of worthless efforts, useless job positions, and people making problems where a problem does not exist. And Packer Girl put a good thread together here showing why a lot of this happens. Niantic themselves, the developers, have their own DEI policy, and it says our mission is to explore the world together. Together means all of us. The work of diversity, equity, and inclusion, and belonging. So now theirs is DEB or DIBE, is what helps us give meaning to the word together in our mission. As we build the real-world metaverse, we must ensure that diverse perspectives are reflected and our product reaches both and positively impact as many people on the planet as possible. As Niantics, we strive to create an environment where each person can be the very best version of themselves. We know that this is only possible when we celebrate openness, value constructive dialogue, and foster a culture that thrives on curiosity and encourages creativity and innovation. We are the best versions of ourselves when we learn from respect and empower one another. Empower one another unless you want to look like your actual gender in a game, in which case, screw you. That's not going to happen. And you're going to see, of course, they have their employee resource groups. Nianticos, Wolfpack, which is women and marginalized genders. Legend, which is disability and accessibility. You've got AAPI. Well, that's a shitty acronym. Asian American Pacific Islanders. You don't give them something cool like the Wolfpack. Black at Niantic for the Black Diaspora. Compass is for the LGBTQs, and Guardians is for parents and caretakers. If you recall, when we talked about this whole thing with the Pokemon Company, I think it was the Pokemon Company or it was Nintendo of America over here in Washington where I'm at, they had this thing for a DEI consultant, and they had it was Pokemon. They broke up the Pokemon group, the DEI stuff, into 5 groups, and one of them was the Black Diaspora, one of them was for the parents, one of them was for I believe it was LGBTQ, was the rainbow group or whatever. They are literally segregating people based on their sexual orientation, their supposed gender identity, whether they have kids or not, or, their country of origin. It's just messed up. It is literal segregation. And then you see here it says, Niantic's Black Developers Initiative is a program established to support, mentor, and finance Black game development teams for the purpose of building real-world AR games. Our intention is to power Black game AR developers and provide access, resources, and support so they can build amazing game experiences that inspire people to explore the world together. Let's see, who should apply? Black team members have direct line to the profits of the game. Item criteria must be at least one of the following. Company studios at least 51% black owned. Black people driving game vision via leadership position. Studio teams at least 50% black. So yeah, it's just racism. It's segregation, it's racism. Niantic sucks, okay? Let's just put it this way. GamerX has a hand in this, absolutely, but a large part of the blame falls on the developer themselves. Niantic is culpable in all of this crap. They have reaped what they've, well, they're gonna reap what they have sowed, obviously, when people stop playing the game. But to be fair, I don't know the numbers of people still playing Pokemon Go. Like I said, I never played it. I know it was huge for a while. Is it still big? You let me know down below, guys, because honestly, I have no idea if there's actually that many people still playing the game. But this crap is getting so out of hand. Even Pokemon Go, of all places. Alright, and if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching the video. Thank you for being here. I do have 2 channels, Minimal Effort Podcast, as well as my gaming channel. I do have a Twitch and Kick for my gaming channel. We do live streams over there occasionally, maybe once a week. And then if you are in the market for a new PC, make sure to check out Meta PCs. Click the link I have down below. Use code TBO at checkout for a special discount. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.